You know, when people say I want to become Catholic, I say, welcome, everything's on fire.
What's up? 2025, baby. We're back in the studio. We were out last week, dude.
Yep.
Everybody's getting rested up. You know, it's that starting line, 2025. We're hyped and we're ready to go. Episode 139. Fellas, how we feeling?
Oh, we feel good back here, John.
Welcome in, everybody. I feel
good.
like, yeah, you feel good?
Yep.
Feel rested? I mean, we just recorded the episode.
Yep.
There's some hot takes in there.
The hottest summer.
Very, you know, it's 2025.
Yep.
I said, you know what, I'm not holding back. It was very serious pod,
Yep.
but also probably one of the funniest.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that makes sense.
I think so.
It was one of probably the most serious topics, but I was on my A game.
Yeah.
Jokes for Humans tour starting at the end of January. Actually, we're right before the end of January. We added a weekend in Raleigh.
Ooh.
That to 26th. You don't have to put that in there, but the Raleigh is right before we're doing one comedy club for the weekend.
Oh, that's right. The
Thursday,
little,
Friday, Saturday.
a little
baby.
warm-up.
Little get yourself loose, baby. Then we're going to. I'll just read all these in order. Fayetteville, North Carolina, Greensboro, Shippensburg, Bowling Green, Indy, Columbus, Rochester, Wilkes-Barre, Tysons, Branson, Kansas City, St. Louis, Lynchburg, Cincinnati, Grand Junction, Salt Lake, Omaha, Wichita, Tulsa, Sacramento, Fresno, San Diego, Fort Myers, Tampa, Pensacola, Sarasota, Charlotte, Richmond, Oklahoma City, Shreveport. Ending the tour on May the 11th in one of the best cities in America, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Honored to. We just added a second show there.
Nice.
We added a second show in a ton of those cities.
Good.
And let me just tell you right now, this is not an advertisement to come to the live show, but it do be dialed in. It be dialed. Usually I need about one season. I need a fall or a spring to kind of get my feet under me because it's a brand new hour, and then I'm cooking.
So you're there right now.
Yeah, if you want to come to the yeah, you want to come right when it's now I'm dialed in. It's got all the new material.
Nice.
It's brand new. Ladies and gentlemen, the end this week's episode powered by Rocket Money. It is the perfect time of year to get organized, ladies and gentlemen. Set goals, prioritize what matters the most. For me, its top priority is financial wellness. I was actually just looking at all of that stuff January 1st.
Yep.
We got to get control.
'Tis the season.
I got to get control.
We got to get control.
I don't know how to say this without saying it, but there's a couple people that have a credit card, a John Crist credit card that are not John Crist. Is that fair is that the best way to say that?
Crystal clear, John.
Yeah. There were people out there spending the John Crist money that didn't earn the John Crist money.
Sure.
So yeah, I got to be checking in.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Financial wellness, that's what I need. Rocket Money feels like it's the most important ever. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all my subscriptions right in one place and help me do everything I need to know, and I can clearly track my spending habits to see where I can cut back or where others need to cut back. I'm just kidding. If you sign up for something, forget about it, and after a trial period ends, then you're charged month after month. You've seen the Rocket Money commercials on TV. It's everybody says they think they have 2 subscriptions, and they have 13.
Yeah.
Everybody losing a ton of money. Show for Everything is talking about an option for me. I'm consistently a streaming service, an app like Facetune. I'm just kidding. I don't do Facetune. That's for women. But getting Rocket Money was a game changer for me. They'll find all your unwanted subscriptions and even help you cancel them, so you don't have to worry about them slipping through the cracks. In 2025, Rocket Money is your personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow those savings. Rocket Money, 5 million users, unbelievable, has saved over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Saving members, listen to this, on average up to $740 a year. You want an extra $740 this year?
Yes.
I do.
Absolutely.
For sure, dude. That's what I need. Cancel all your unwanted subscriptions to reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/netpositive today. That's rocketmoney.com/netpositive, or hit the link in the episode description below. 2025, baby, is going to be our year. It's going to be we got a new set.
New set?
Dude,
new set. Give it up for the new set.
Give it up for the new set. Shout out. Legos Creative. Shout out. We look like we know what we're talking about.
That's what we did through the holidays. We figured if you were not a believer in us before, now, dude.
Now.
Nothing screams credibility and just established personalities than like a bookshelf.
A bookshelf that helps. Because but all the listeners know I'll be the first to say stuff that is not credible.
Sure.
At all.
Right.
But now
though,
they'll be like, hold on,
it's going to be hard to decipher.
Let's hear them out.
Yeah.
They're still probably going to disagree, but they're like, hold on, look at this. Let's hear them out.
Is that a fireplace, John?
Yeah. Is this restoration hardware? Let's hear this guy out. This guy is clearly successful.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, he's got a monitor with his face on.
You don't get there by not saying true things.
No, dude. Thank you. Oh, it feels good to be locked in, baby. I was out of the seat, dude. We did 2 episodes.
Yeah,
we filmed it once, and then we took a week off. So it's like a month.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a month, and we're back, baby.
Yeah, man.
Something about that, dude. Something about that. When I get off tour, I go, I gotta quit touring. I can't do it anymore. Then I'd be sitting around my house. I'll be sitting around. I'll be like, my agent, every time I call them and say, I can't do it anymore. This is too much touring. They go, all right.
You're in that phase. Okay,
they know to call me when we want to schedule more tour days. They call me on a Thursday.
Nice.
Because I've been sitting at home for 3 days.
You don't have
if they call me on Sunday night, you're like, you want to have the spring tour? I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
I do. Dude, I'll tell you this. This is the best thing that happened to me so my nephews, when they came in town when did they come in town? Maybe in the October or something like that. I can't find it out.
They're what, like 12?
Yeah, and they said something about a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
and I said, the podcast. I'll say, the listeners of the pod can take credit for this because they indirectly are a part of this.
Nice.
Because they support the pod.
Yep.
So I go, you know what? I can probably buy those kids a Switch.
Nice.
So it was after we brought them up to their room or something. I got a gift for you guys. This is the last day of Christmas.
Nice.
You're on their way home. And the look on these kids' face, man. And I'm not even trying to like brag or anything.
Yeah.
And my sister sent me a text. They're like, dude, one of them said, I can't believe I'm living a life that I have a Nintendo Switch. And I go, let me tell you, brother, I've been chasing that high my whole life. I've been chasing that high my whole life. Hold on, let me find the exact.
I'm living a life where I have a Nintendo Switch.
Let me find. He says, listen, he says, he keeps saying that it doesn't feel real that he owns a Nintendo Switch.
Dude, I feel like I would have to have like a Lamborghini to say something
that's
like
what I'm
that,
saying. Dude, I've said that all the time about Amish people. I go, dude, at night they just play shuffleboard and read a book, and they're feeling great. You know what we got to do? First of all, we're on antidepressants. We got to go down to Broadway. We got to get coked up. We got to get hammered. We got to throw a chair off the balcony and take some girl home just to feel anything. Yeah. This guy's, I go, keep
Switch?
That.
You got it, bro.
Keep that energy,
That's
bro.
a good reaction. Because I got my little brother an Xbox for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, same type of vibes.
Yeah.
And bro did not give me that good of a reaction.
Yeah.
Bro said, I have the video. He said something like, he goes upstairs and like my sister's talking to him. He's like, I didn't know Easton was loaded like that. Bro, I got him. He's not going to watch this. So
no more. Take it back, dude.
I bought this thing used on Facebook Marketplace, dude.
No.
At a fraction of the cost.
It is such a giving gifts is such such like emotional thin ice.
Yeah.
Because like if you like, especially something that I've like thought a lot about, or maybe like homemade, or maybe something that I like, there's like a story behind it.
Yep.
I don't want to get anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the pressure of like, gosh, you transported this all the way here for this moment. And I'm like, just like your brother, I don't know if I'm giving you.
Right. Because if you thought that much about the gift, you definitely thought about the reaction that you want. Yeah.
But it is awesome. I did give a good amount of gifts this year. And it was something about giving a gift.
That's great, man.
Getting one, I don't want to get any of them.
Yeah, I get uncomfortable getting gifts in front of people.
Yeah.
I'm bad at reacting. According to my wife.
There are people bring them and keep doing it, by the way, but keep bringing them to the meet and greet all the time. I go, you want me to open this now?
Yes.
I brought some to y'all.
I ask that all the time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to open this now or do you want me to? And I'm always hoping they're like, no, you can get to it later. I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks.
Especially a card.
Let me off the hook.
I got to read this?
Yeah.
You want me to read this? Oh, yeah.
Have I told you what Maggie does when she gets cards?
No.
Every time Maggie gets, she's been doing this since I met her. Every time Maggie gets a card, she turns it upside down and shakes it, like as a bit.
Great bit, dude. It's ROI every time.
Just like, okay, I guess I'll read it.
Oh, just like,
Oh, there's no money here.
just okay,
read?
no. Oh,
Cool.
all right, yeah. No,
Oh, just the card then.
just the card.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'll read it. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that works out good. Yeah, speaking of the Amish,
Yeah.
a deep religious devotion. Matt Fradd was on the pod.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Cool convo.
Yeah, I this is one I targeted out to sometimes the guests maybe come to us or maybe they go, do you want this guy or something like that? But this is the one I go, we got to track. I don't even know. We got to track this guy down.
It was a great grab, man.
We got to find him.
He has such a unique perspective.
Track him down. Yeah.
And I think that it's Catholicism is something that I think so many people feel familiar with.
Yeah.
But
they know about it.
Yeah, like they know of it, but they don't know like he got into some deep Catholicism type stuff that I was really interested in him just kind of like peeling back the layers on.
And I kept it light.
You did keep it light.
I know. Did I keep it too light?
No, I didn't think so.
I was firing off.
I thought it was a good balance.
Yeah, listen in the comments. If you say John was putting in too many jokes, he should have been more serious. He should have been paying attention.
Yeah.
I feel like I was back in high school when they were trying to tell us about like the periodic table, and I was like, well, yeah, I'll put some O in your 2 or so. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Sorry. Don't repeat
Like
that.
you're sitting in the back of the classroom, just
cutting up. Yeah. Like I was trying to like just think of punchlines, but I did a lot of similarities to that religious practice in mine, which I thought was interesting to compare and contrast.
Yeah,
a lot of the I'll say the vasectomy take was wild.
Yeah. Stick around for that one.
We'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, that's
we'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, we can leave it there.
That was wild.
Yeah.
What else was wild? Yeah, there's a couple things that I was like, wow. Yeah, in a good way though. And I think he's confident enough in where he stands that he's like, yeah, it's okay.
That's I think my favorite part about the convo is it was
think
like
that too.
there were points presented from both sides. Not that it was a debate of any sort, but just like we were, like you said, comparing and contrasting these two sects of Christianity.
I'm gonna text him, see if he wants to go to dinner.
Get him.
That was great, man. I enjoyed that a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, first pod of the new year. Here's Matt Fradd, everybody. Fire it off, ladies and gentlemen. First show of 2025.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in.
We're here.
You know what? Everybody's New Year's resolution, I believe, is you got to get right with the Lord.
Yes.
We figured that you got to exercise goals.
Sure.
You got, and if that's what's going to be one of ours. Matt Fradd is here, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the house.
Welcome in.
Hold on, let me do your intro. Okay. I would say host of one of the biggest biggest religion pods, Pints with Aquinas. And Aquinas is
13th century Dominican philosopher, theologian.
Listen to that accent, baby. That's Australia.
That's all I got.
Yeah, people are guessing that's Australia. That's in the southern Australia.
Actually, that is exactly wrong.
Well,
No, the only place people live in
that's the
Australia.
only thing. That's it. Yeah.
But I live in, but I'm from South Australia. That's the
you?
name of the state. Yeah.
Oh, well, there is nobody in the north, right?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is.
There's no one in the middle.
Not as many. Yeah, the middle, not so much.
Where do they go? Adelaide.
That's where I'm from. Well, actually, north of Adelaide. Adelaide's You're doing great. What's my mum's name?
Oh yeah, is it?
What's my dad's name?
Adelaide.
See if you can.
Wait, you have the thing with the out over the water with the
Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Sydney Opera
Yeah,
House,
no, two different things.
Let me
Sydney
think.
Opera.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Shoot,
I just don't want you losing your Australian audience.
But best-selling author, written a bunch of books, and I was. You said you've been to one of my shows, and I followed your stuff for a while. So as a proclaimed evangelical, we've had a couple Catholics in here.
Have you?
Yeah, we're gonna solve it today. Which one's best?
Okay.
That's why we had you in here.
Nice.
No, I've heard. Well, you do a lot of you debate a lot of people, don't you?
I don't do debates because I'm not good at them.
Smart.
But I do like engaging with people in like friendly back and forth, you know.
Sure. Well,
So I've had folks on the show who we've disagreed about things.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at thinking on my feet, and I also, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in that kind of
I feel like I'm the
adversarial, yeah.
Man, I had a fight with somebody in my family, and then I was like, all night I was thinking of funny stuff to get back at them. No, dude, we went to Arkansas Tennessee basketball game, and there was this guy behind us, 3 rows behind us, and I was, you know how I am, dude. I was just in my head. I wasn't gonna say anything to him, but I was just thinking of smart things to say to him. And then I went to the bathroom with a couple guys in our section, and I was like telling them, "This is what I would." That's you. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's you.
It's always after the fact.
Pints with Aquinas, I'm guessing, is you're having beer.
Yeah, the idea was, because Thomas Aquinas is a pretty lofty theologian. The idea is to bring down him from the ivory tower to the riffraff. So I like
a pint with him.
Yeah, I like to have a drink and have a good conversation. So that's the point.
Yeah. So in Southern evangelical culture, that would be
Frowned upon.
no, that would be, what would that be? Sweet tea with Joel Osteen.
Nice, very nice.
There you go. We just gave you a podcast idea. Go for it, somebody.
Let's see. Chocolate milk with Billy Graham. No, because who is our Aquinas? Let me think.
Yeah.
And listen, it's not us versus you. That we're both on the same team. Same company, different division. Is that how you would describe it?
No, but I'm okay with you describing it that way.
He's like, it's your show, dude. I don't know.
So Thomas Aquinas, if Thomas Aquinas was like the main, then you bringing him down to the pub, and then at the pub we're asking him, hey, can we have sex before marriage?
Kind of.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
And he's like, but you don't want to discuss metaphysics? Like, later, shut up.
Yeah,
Sex before marriage.
Well, I will say, if you had to choose a Catholic versus evangelical, I feel like y'all do got the better drinking policy.
Which is basically drunkenness is a sin. Don't do that. But alcohol was something given by the Lord in John chapter 2.
I'm gonna have to think about that. See, I've been sober since 2019, so I didn't really follow the evangelical way, I suppose.
Good for you. That's wonderful.
Well, yeah, thank you, man.
Seriously, that's awesome.
One day at a time. But I think we have a lot of different denominations, and we're not quite sure day to day, because like Baptists can't drink, evangelicals, every now and then you got a pastor that's like, he'll post on Instagram like at a bar with a drink, and it's like a scandal. Yeah. See, evangelicals, they don't like to, especially in the South. You go up north, I think you can drink.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also just depends on which Bible study you're sitting in on.
Yeah, who's looking around?
Well, as an outsider looking in, it seems like the Calvinists are really into drinking beer and growing beards.
Nah, they got it figured out. The Calvinists, 5 points. Yeah. Well, we did watch the what's it called on New Year's or Christmas? We watched it on TV, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Mass?
The main one.
You watched Mass on TV?
Yeah. No, everybody comes to the main one.
I don't know what that is.
Wherever your headquarters is.
Oh, the Vatican?
Yeah. Nah, where's HQ, dog?
You were watching that on television?
What, is that not... Should
No,
I not do
just
that?
good for you.
Should I not do that? Am I not allowed to
Occasionally I accidentally scroll upon Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
Go, what's he talking about? So I guess it's...
Joel Osteen's not our...
He's not our guy.
He's not our leader.
Yeah. Joel's not our pope. That's not what this is.
Okay.
I messed that up, dude. I messed that up. No, it was... I think it was... Is that a...
Midnight Mass, probably.
And that's big.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like everybody was there. Like all the Catholic, all the A-listers.
Okay. Name one.
No, I don't know. The Pope. But they were like, like Algeria is here. Nicaragua is here. They all were in there.
Cool.
You don't know anything about it.
I didn't watch it. I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Well, what's going on over there in the Catholic Church these days? If somebody's never been, can we, first of all, because I think I asked this about somebody that was, what's it called, Utah Mormon. Mm-hmm. I was like, can we just go in there? And they said, I don't think you can.
Not to the temple, that's for sure.
You can't.
No.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they'd be welcoming to have you in their local.
You just got to drive by and say, that's a nice building.
Sure.
You can't. I don't.
You'd have to lie because none of them are that pretty.
Yeah. Well, you can't go in?
No, you can, just not to the temple.
Okay, so you can kind of go in the lobby.
You can go in. No, I think they have other little churches. I don't know what they call them.
Oh, yeah.
But the main temple, I'm pretty sure you can't go into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So Protestants can show up at a Catholic church, of course.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. There's no
How would they?
There's no check-in.
See, with Mormons, if I show up,
Let's do it, me and you against Mormons.
All right.
That's how we get.
That's how we bring Christians together.
Yeah, that's how we get together.
No,
Here we go. Now we're
Our
talking.
joke is always if
I'm
my
just
wife
joking.
says she sees a family in the grocery store
Yeah.
and they got a lot of kids. It's like if they're well put together, they're Mormons. If they're disheveled and tired looking, they're with us.
Dang. Yeah, see, I like to know the inside jokes. I like to know the inside. Why would the Catholic family be disheveled?
I don't know. I think it's more. The question is more: why do the Mormons look so terrific? Probably because they don't drink.
Oh, the Mormons do got it.
But they don't have coffee either. So that's what I don't figure
They got
out.
nothing. They just got a to-do list and a
And no one's met a Mormon they didn't like. I don't think.
fair, very fair. Yeah, I think the Mormon. Well, because I'm one of 8 kids.
Okay, cool.
So there was a lot of when we would go places. A lot of people would ask if we were Catholic.
Yeah.
So do y'all have a lot of kids?
Yeah, we don't believe in contraception, so we tend to have a lot of kids.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now I was only able to have 4 because of my wife's. She had some health issues, but
Yeah.
contraception would be a no-no.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can
Never.
and that's tricky because you can get drunk, and that's when you would need it.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
Don't do either. And
yeah.
Sure.
So, well, I saw your you had a take that said you don't believe in a vasectomy.
Right, because that would be mutilation. So to destroy the function of a body part would seem to me to be a pretty good definition of mutilation. So if I pierce my ear, I haven't mutilated it. If I pierce my eardrum, I have. And so Catholics would certainly be down on sterilizing yourself.
Wow. Okay. So is that all Catholics? That's
Yeah,
top
well,
to
it's
bottom.
all good. It's all Catholics who want to be obedient to what the church
All good
teaches.
ones.
Now, there's a lot of.
If you want to go to heaven, no, do whatever you want. Yeah, no, your call. All good ones, dude. You know, well, that's like,
Well, I mean, I see this might be one of the differences between Catholicism and a different branch of Protestantism, because Protestantism is like a misnomer.
what am I, Protestant or evangelical?
Well,
I'm both.
Well, I guess both, right? Because you stem from the Protestant Reformation.
Yeah. So oh wait, no, finish the vasectomy thing. And then we'll get to that. Yeah.
Well, just that there are different types of
Get a quietness
Protestants.
down here.
Whereas with a Catholic, like, you know if you're being a bad Catholic. Like, if I choose to reject a particular doctrine or moral teaching, then I can know whether I'm
In good standing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas how does that work? You know, with
who knows?
well,
It's
that's
all over
that's
the
my
map.
point. Is different
Yeah.
Protestants might have different teachings, different views on things, and so I
Yeah.
guess
Oh, so you don't know.
It's a bit more fluid.
You could go to some churches, you got a full sleeve of tattoos, and you're the pastor. You go to another church, they might not let you in.
I don't know.
You go to some church, let me think what we're pretty good at that's a bad. Like, we're pretty good at talking behind people's backs.
For sure.
We do good at that. Gossip, we're good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Eating, we're good with that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, you could be 400 or 500 pounds and you could love Jesus. That's good. That's cool with us.
Great.
But mutilating the body that's across the board.
Yeah, of course. It seems like a pretty low bar.
Wow.
Just don't mutilate yourself. Start there.
Yeah, that should be fair. Well, because I had a buddy and he had 6 kids. His name was Todd, Protestant.
Probably
but
still
he
is.
said he didn't believe in any kind of birth control or obviously not like a morning after or condoms or anything like that, because he believed it's God would open and close the womb as he saw fit.
Yeah, well, I guess I would look at it differently. I would say that I would compare contraception to something like bulimia. So the point of eating is to nourish the body.
Sure.
If I take the pleasure of eating and then usurp the point of it by vomiting it out, I've done something unnatural.
Sure.
And I would say that the sexual act tends towards at least one end, the begetting of children. To intentionally frustrate that end.
Yeah.
Now a woman might know through examining her cycle whether she's fertile or not, and if she isn't, it's not like, well, you can't come together now.
Yeah,
or
if
if a
you're
woman,
like, we're going to do it on a Wednesday, you're trying to play God. I mean, I always, if I have a risky punchline, I look over at Alex and see if he's gonna.
you're just a lot funnier than me. So if I
sometimes,
don't respond the way you would like me to respond, it's not because I'm offended. I don't know how to react.
Well, see, on this pod, sometimes if I say something wild, like Alex, he won't click the video over to him. He goes, I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna stay on you for this video. I'm not having
conveniently, I don't make it into that clip.
Yeah, like, where's the Alex? He's like, I'm not on that clip. Yeah. All right, I got it. So there's
Well, and the other thing to point out too is I think you can be a good Protestant and agree with me, because it wasn't every Christian denomination until 1930 agreed that contraception was evil.
Really?
It wasn't until the Anglican Communion permitted it in certain circumstances that there was now this flood of
and
allowance.
contraception meaning what?
Yeah,
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. Coitus interruptus and condoms, and
all of
by
it.
extension the oral contraceptive.
So what were they
pill.
doing before that?
Well, probably coitus interruptus. I don't know before
Jeez.
it. Yeah.
I've
Keeping
never
their
heard,
fingers crossed.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Yeah.
That term, coitus interruptus.
Well, I'm trying to keep it clinical
That's
for
great.
people. I don't want to.
We got to get shirts, man.
It's the name of my metal band in high school.
TikTok shop, dude.
Do amputations count as mutilation or no?
Well, if it's, I guess you would say maybe.
speaking on behalf of all Catholics, so,
how about an unnecessary mutilation? So if someone needed to have their arm amputated because the rest of their body would suffer significantly, there could be a medical reason for it. Likewise,
I'm going to go on a limb. Yeah.
Let me just finish this. Likewise, if a woman needed to have a hysterectomy, right, for serious health reasons, yeah, fine. But to have the hysterectomy for the purpose of not having other children, I think would be this unnecessary mutilation. I
Got to
guess
have
you
a
could
doctor's note.
Yeah, got to have a note.
Tattoos?
So tattoo, whatever. But I don't have any.
He's like, we're like,
I have
I'm like,
thoughts.
and what about?
if I'm
he
allowed,
has one. Get him out.
yeah. I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't like tattoos. I would like to see them become less prominent and more frowned upon. But not because I have anything wrong with them morally.
Yeah,
I just think it's getting a bit much.
sure.
Now, when I see someone who's over
You're welcome on
25
this pod.
who
Now,
doesn't
you-
have a
yeah, now
tattoo, I
you're on
think,
the right
thank God,
spot.
someone who can think for themselves. No offense to all the people who I just offended for
They're
having
already bad.
tattoos. I have one as well.
I think they're offended at some other stuff already that we discussed. So we're fine.
They've
with
already
that.
clicked out.
Now is I
We lost them
probably-
at coitus interruptus.
they probably sent it to their friends and go, you should watch. We're probably going up in viewership. So my family is like Amish. My great grandmother was Amish, and then you know what that is?
I mean, I have a vague idea.
Okay, so it's like no, they don't believe in electricity. They're all farmers.
Yeah.
They live in a community. They don't believe in.
Was that your grandmother, though? Because I
yep.
know that there's different...
Great grandmother.
Okay, great.
Doesn't believe in. My grandmother left the Amish church. Don't believe in war. Don't believe in medicine. Kind of very traditional way of life. So my parents were Mennonite, which is kind of a little bit of the same beliefs, but you know, we got a TV in high school.
Okay.
Like we didn't have a TV growing up, and now I was just talking to one of my buddies, Dustin, about everything seems to be chill now. Like people are chill on. My parents are like, they don't drink themselves, but people like at our family gatherings, people are drinking, which is wild. If you would have told that to me, like that's wild. And what I think I wanted to ask you, because I feel like the Pope is like chilling out on some stuff, because the Amish tradition, I feel like the leaders are like, if we don't loosen up on that, it's gonna dissolve. The whole thing is gonna go away. Do you feel that in Catholicism or no?
Yeah, no, I would say that there are certain things that the church teaches, has always taught, and will always teach, and can never not teach. I think sometimes Pope Francis leads with mercy, which can give the impression that maybe certain teachings have changed, or he might even say things that are kind of confusing, and people are trying to figure out what it is he meant. But no, I wouldn't say that anything. Feel free to give me some examples of what you're talking about, but I don't. There's nothing that's been changed.
I mean,
during
not to
the
come back on the Mormons, but I think they were like, well, all right, we got to come off this multiple wives thing, and they're like, I think we got to come off. Like they didn't allow black people into their churches until like the 60s. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. They were like, all right, we got to come off of these things.
Yeah, so there's nothing we've come off of.
Catholicism, man, there might be something to it.
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments on your Instagram said you were going to
there can be a kind of development in doctrine, for example.
Yeah.
So there may have been a teaching that the suicide won't enter heaven because to destroy your life is a great act of,
Okay.
it's an abuse against the Creator.
Yeah.
But then perhaps as we understand more about the mental framework someone's in who commits suicide, they might be like, okay, well then we didn't know that before, so we can't judge, and so we give them to God's mercy, something like that.
Yeah.
So there can be kind of a development in how we understand things. Like, for example, the immaturity of the 8 or 9-year-old boy who's committing self-abuse or masturbation,
Right.
or something like that. So there can be understanding in that regard. But no, nothing that was taught kind of definitively has been changed.
And everybody, all Catholic churches all over the earth are preaching the same thing on Sunday, right?
Well, I mean, do you mean
correct or
holding
no?
to the same truth?
Or like they're reading out of the same
Yeah.
passage or something.
Yeah.
They're all on the same schedule.
Yeah.
We need to get on that.
It feels more Catholicism feels more centralized than
More organized.
Yeah. Like there's a source that you go to for all of this. Besides, like in our world, it's the scripture. You just go to the Bible, which even there's so many different translations of it that I think split people up as well. I feel like it feels like from the outside looking into Catholicism, there's more of a standard that is set from the top that's then disseminated on the way down. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
That's a good way to say that.
Yeah, and I would say that top doesn't come from the Pope. Like people have this idea that the Holy Father, as we refer to him, is some sort of prophet or dictator or decider of Catholic doctrine. That's not at all what is the case. He's the servant of the truth that's been handed down, and so it's not the case that we have to agree with everything the Pope has to say or that kind of thing. It's not. So I think that would be different to say Mormonism, where they've actually got a prophet who apparently hears from God and who is allegedly. Yeah.
Well, if with this very successful podcast you have on this org chart, how far down are you? You got to be getting up there.
What does that mean?
To
Like
talk to the
org
Lord.
chart?
The Pope's up here. Are you? 2 steps down.
How many rungs on
How
the
many
ladder?
rungs down? Because now you're a popular Catholic.
A prayer that I heard once that I try to pray often is, Lord, use even my bull crap as manure for other people's growth. Like use everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's good.
I like that. Yeah.
Because it is kind of scary when you get a platform and lots of people are
'cause
listening.
People are looking to you. It's like this. Yeah. Should my son go to the? Well, Easton went to Catholic school,
Yeah.
and he wasn't Catholic, so
Not
he's
Catholic, nope.
stolen valor.
I think most people who go to Catholic schools don't end up Catholic.
I was
Because
the only
most
one.
of our Catholic schools are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well, I think his parents just said it was worse than the Catholic school is better than the public school.
Is it? No.
Yeah, Metro St. Louis public schools are no go.
Yeah, send him to Catholic school.
It was like that back home for me too. A lot of my friends went to Catholic high schools just because they were better school systems.
Yeah, and they were like all the Catholic schools, at least in St. Louis, were all like very large schools, so like they could support. Like it was cheaper than like a lot of the regular like Christian schools were smaller and therefore much more expensive, whereas the Catholic schools seemed to be a bit more established.
And so anybody could just go there. You don't have to be Catholic.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you paid the tuition, I'm sure they'll let you in.
Fair enough.
We're both on the same. We both like money, both of us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like mine.
Catholics and the yeah. Well, does everybody have to? Is everybody cheering for Notre Dame this weekend?
I do not follow your football, college, or NFL. If you tell me to go for them, I'm happy to.
You don't. Yeah.
But I don't watch football.
You don't know. Yeah, I don't have to cheer for the Catholic schools. Well, I got to.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
How'd you miss that?
that particular school awarded Obama an honorary doctorate, so I'm not sure if we could. I'm sure there are very good people doing very good things, and I'm sure there's probably pockets of good Catholic culture within that school.
Yeah.
But
That's how I know that you podcast at a high level, because
What?
that right there is just
they're
like,
kind of like trying to cover all the
navigate through this. I don't know what anything that you guys just brought to me is, but I'm just going to work through this safely.
I wonder if Notre Dame wins a national championship, if instead of going to the White House, they go to the Pope.
The Vatican.
They go to the Vatican. Yeah.
Whatever.
Manti Te'o was not Catholic. I don't think he was Catholic. He had an imaginary girlfriend. Yeah, I think if a Catholic, you can just go, you can participate in it even if you're like, and everybody from Notre Dame is not Catholic.
No way.
But I gotta find. I'm trying to think of the equivalent. I gotta.
There's definitely kids at Liberty who are not Christian.
I gotta be
There's
cheering for
definitely
Liberty.
you think all the football players at BYU are Mormon? I don't think so.
no.
Oh, great point.
I think it's also the case that whenever your group becomes larger, you're going to have a lot more kind of infiltration of people who are just there for the accidents of that thing and not the substance.
Yeah.
And so it'd be very easy if you left your particular Protestant denomination and started a new one to say, look how great we are. There's three of us and none of us have done X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to go. Who are the big evangelical schools? I think Grand Canyon.
Talbot.
Talbot. I never heard of that.
Talbot School.
Okay.
Were they playing Ohio State this week?
No, I don't. Oh, you're talking about football.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I have
What are you
no
talking
idea
about?
about just your Protestant universities.
Oh, the big-
TCU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
Texas
I have no.
Christian.
Oh, what am I talking about? Texas Christian. Yeah, but I think they just. I think they're just TCU.
What do you mean?
They said we're not, I don't think we're the C anymore.
Oh,
I think
the C is just
Yeah.
a placeholder now.
it's getting tricky.
Is Methodist?
Yeah, I guess.
involved in this?
Well, like a school.
SMU.
Let's go. Like a lot of my friends' kids go to a school where there's some kind of like profession of faith. Like I went to a Christian high school where you had to be a Christian.
That would make sense.
Yeah, it wasn't just. But I don't think you don't have that at TCU. I
You
don't
have to take
you
like an
definitely
entry
don't.
exam. You got to take a pop quiz on your way in.
I
or
bet
what?
there's a code of, I bet it's in the code of
There's
conduct.
there's a code of like if you obviously
Yeah.
get drunk, they'll kick you out, or
Yeah.
if there's a girl in your dorm, or if you're wearing yoga pants, or stuff that's not in the Bible, they'll kick you out. But there's no agreement of faith to attend there. Mm-hmm. That's what I think the difference is. Yeah, Catholics though, y'all are getting pretty big though.
Well, if there are smaller Catholic schools, like there are some excellent ones out there, and they tend to be smaller, and they tend to be very kind of uncompromising, so that they don't end up like a Notre Dame or. No offense to Notre Dame. Everyone Notre Dame, I love you. Hey, can I say real quick, because I meant to say this at the beginning and I didn't. One of my best mates, I was telling him yesterday that I was coming on your podcast. His name is Derek, and he said that his wife, Becca Cummins, is your biggest fan.
Shout out, Becca.
So
give it up, to Becca. Give it up. To
I don't know
Becca.
if you knew that,
Oh yeah, I don't know who that is, but
now you do.
Oh, I got to tell you the story about when I did the Catholic show. Okay, so you were there.
Yeah.
All right, I did a Catholic.
Life Teen, I think it was.
It was like
called.
Catholic Winter Jam.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that the best way to?
I don't know what that is.
It's like
It was a big conference for ministry
big conference
leaders.
for youth kids. So I feel like it's y'all's fault because y'all invited me over there.
These are teens, yeah?
No, it was ministry leaders,
Like
if
leader,
I remember
like,
correctly.
okay.
like,
So it's-
youth leaders and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, but like I know, like Ben Rector's a good buddy of mine. He does the Catholic, like the whatever y'all's Super Bowl is or whatever. He's not Catholic, but so y'all are just poaching us. I don't know how that works, but yeah. So I'm
if we
going
give
over.
them money, they'll come over.
They'll come over there. Yeah. So I'm doing this joke, and I was doing a bunch of jokes about growing up in church and all these kind of things, and it was killing.
Yeah.
And then I made this joke. I made this joke about communion.
Okay.
This is the one thing I remember from that
Yeah.
show.
Yes.
I made this joke about communion and about how there's gluten-free communion now. And now instead of like, used to be the piece of bread, now it's a communion, then it's a wafer, then it's gluten-free. And eventually the pastor's going to be like, just look at the screen. We have a photo of bread. Just think about it. And it was kind of like
I don't
irreverent.
remember this joke, but was there a kind of
Yeah, it was very like...
the energy left the room? Sort
Yes.
Of? Yeah, okay.
And I go, what happened, dude? What happened? And the guy told me, he goes, well, we believe that communion, it is the bread and it is the body
and blood of Christ.
It becomes that.
Literally.
Ours is like symbolic,
Right.
so we can kind of
Yeah.
joke about it's a symbol of. Granted, it still should show respect, but it's just a. After church, me and my dad was a preacher. We would go drink all the juice and eat the bread.
Yeah.
As like a, I don't know. We would just
Super saved.
yeah. But it was not funny.
Oh, okay.
To the Catholics because they were.
How
like,
long did it take you to recover with them? I don't remember this.
I got him back pretty quick. I think I got him back pretty quick. But I was always, I remember that. I go, why did that joke not work? And he said it's because they.
But you probably knew and pivoted well. Like,
I've done it because
we had Gaffigan at one of our big conferences, this big Sikh conference they're called.
Yeah.
And he made this joke, that he does about Hitler and him looking like Hitler's wet dream.
Yeah.
And there was just this noticeable amount, like 15,000 people all went, ooh. And he said, don't turn on me now, Catholics. And he had us back. It was like a nice little.
He acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he goes, hey, I'm not. Yeah. Well,
So Hitler and communion are two pain
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Got it. Good.
Hitler was fine. I think it was the wet dream, actually, the element of the joke. That,
surprisingly, Hitler was fine.
you would think, but yeah.
Hitler was fine. Well,
Nope, don't clip that. Don't say that.
That's the title. So
Hitler was fine, dude. I was going to ask you, interesting you talk about Jim Gaffigan, if we did a Protestant versus Catholic celebrity draft.
Celebrity.
Who you got? Who
Well, I wouldn't pick Gaffigan.
He's not first.
No, Gaffigan, I think he's very funny. He's clearly a brilliant, hilarious fella.
Okay.
But in his last stand-up, I mean, he had blasphemed 3 or 4 times.
He did.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm done with you, Jim.
Dang,
Like, I think it's one thing if you're
God's-
if you're in a podcast and you accidentally blaspheme, it's like, okay, you shouldn't have done that. That's clearly wrong. But he's clearly writing these into his jokes, so I wouldn't be having him in my lineup.
Dang, so he's like he's out.
Can I dive into that a little bit before we go back to the draft? Where do you draw the line on blaspheme?
Yeah,
Like, what qualifies?
That's a great question. I guess it's to use the Lord's name in vain. So it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong to think of it this way, but if I was to say God bless you, or but if I was to use it sort of like for G's sake or something like that, that would be blasphemy.
All right.
But to use our blessed Lord's name, that seems worse.
As
I'd need to think about why. What do you think?
I think I agree. And I also think a lot of it I think all of it comes down to intent of heart. And I think that's where obviously I just go like, I don't know, that's between you and the Lord. I think I don't use words like GD in my vocabulary because I think that is probably not something that he would love. I don't give it too much serious thought, but you just bring it up as you saw that, and that was the reason why you drew a line on somebody. Just curious.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially when someone has a reputation for being a Catholic, and a lot of their jokes are about how great it is to be a Catholic. So it's like, if you're doing that and you're also blaspheming, I think I can say, look, I acknowledge you're a funny, talented guy. Good for you. I still laugh at your jokes, but I can't. He's also taken his kids to pride parades and taken photos and shared them. So if you're asking me about like the Catholic list, it wouldn't be people like him. It wouldn't be like, who's that late night fella, Stephen Colbert.
Jim Gaffigan's in the transfer portal.
Yeah. Are we gonna scoop him up?
Yes.
We gotta huddle up.
Him?
We gotta huddle up and see if
he
we
is
want
clean.
him.
We'll see if we want to draft him. We'll look at him.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about. I used to like the Lord's name in vain is. I think I've said it in here on the pod. I go with all those like rappers that wear like the cross necklaces and then like the figure of Jesus like and I go, I'd be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he's like mad at that, but like with the Lil Nas X, he had like the blood of Christ in his Nikes or something like that.
That was tough.
Whatever that was for, and I go like I understand y'all don't think like it's real and y'all aren't believers. Obviously, I understand that you don't have to be on the same guidelines as we are, but I'd be careful with that. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't. But like I would say it's a bit, I guess, but I would say like geez. But if you say the U.S. on the end, then like, or if you say gosh versus God, is God up there like?
Yeah, but I think that's a funny bit. But I also think
you're
that
talking
like,
about, like,
but I also
intent.
think it's legit. Like because I mean, if I came in here and every single one of my words was slightly off, you would think I'm speaking a different language. So there is something to language meaning something.
Yeah, there is something. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, words still have to have
They
value
convey
and meaning.
concepts.
They have to have meaning.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not. Yeah.
We'll just bubble our lips and not communicate at all.
Yeah. Well,
So the draft though.
Catholic versus Protestant draft. Number one, I'm gonna take.
Hang on, what are they doing? Are they arm wrestling?
It's a good question. Fair question.
What
Let's
are they
set
doing?
the
Hot dog
set the
eating
parameters.
competition?
They're being influential.
Yes.
How about that?
Okay.
I'm gonna take number one. I'm gonna take Tim Tebow.
Yeah, let's clap it up for that one. That's a
Tim
good pick.
Tebow.
That's a great
Well done,
pick.
On the
Tim.
board. I'm on the board with Tim Tebow.
Good pick.
Yeah. Well, I guess I hadn't thought of this ahead of time. I guess I'd think Father Mike Schmitz.
Another good
Father
pick.
Mike
Great
Schmidt.
pick.
familiar?
Yeah, big
pick.
pod. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Schmidt.
yeah.
Yeah, big pod. Good looking guy too.
Good looking guy, super humble, normal,
Good-looking guy.
loves our Lord, great jawline.
Great jawline.
That is important.
Yeah,
I
shout out.
like a good jawline.
Very important.
Let me think. Famous Protestants. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go number two. I'm gonna go Justin Bieber.
Yeah, good pick. Good
Did we
pick.
decide what they're
Justin
doing
Bieber.
against each other yet?
In being influential.
Oh, influential. Yeah.
So who's best the best face for the franchise?
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
a
we're
good
looking
pick.
for.
You
Who's
know,
on the
I-
poster?
I don't know how many Catholics. Oh, who's that fella from the Kansas Chiefs?
Oh, you got Jason Kelsey.
No,
Mahomes.
the kicker.
Butker. You got Harrison Butker.
Harrison
Butker,
What a
dude,
great
yeah.
guy.
Harrison Butker.
Clap it up for Harrison Butker. Yeah, great pick.
He is Catholic.
Yep.
We're
And I
big
apologize.
fans
Now
of him.
here's how I know he's Catholic.
We're big fans of him.
So I was at Holy Mass in Atlanta one day, and because I don't watch football, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I just knew that there was a man who looked like a Greek god in the church. And
Sensing a theme here.
oh, he was a
Jawlines.
good-looking fella. Yeah. He's a great-looking fella. Good on him. What do I care? Don't even give a stuff. Anyway, we got to talking, but he said he was with the Chiefs, and I
Yeah.
said, "Cool, is that football?" And my
Oh,
wife's
no.
like, "Oh no, this is going well." No, but I like
That's
him
good
a
for
lot,
him.
so
He
he
needs that.
he can be the
a
second.
good pick. Strong
Schmitz
pick.
and
Harrison
Butker.
Butker. Yeah, I forgot it. I'm gonna go with number 3. Obviously, Donald Trump. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
JD Vance. I got JD Vance.
Is JD Vance Catholic?
Yeah, he's a convert
JD
from
Vance.
your
JD
team
Vance,
to
yeah,
mine.
clap it up. I was joking.
Transfer.
He's in the transfer portal. JD Vance. That's a good one.
What's the transfer portal?
That's great question.
It means they're on their way in or out, or
If you want to play for a college football team or basketball, if you don't want to play for them anymore, you got to enter the transfer portal.
Oh, okay.
The other team can pick you up.
yeah.
So yeah, JD Vance. I'm gonna go. Let me see. Steph Curry.
Sure.
See,
sure.
no.
Steph Curry.
What do you mean? What? Wait,
No. Yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
What I was about to say is this isn't fair because I don't know how many out and out famous Catholics there are.
Oh, you don't know him.
I got one for
And
you.
it could be just I don't know them. Who?
Kobe Bryant, Catholic.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant.
We can't ask him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
So
looked
when
it
I
up.
think of it, though, I'm thinking of like philosophers like Ed Feser or apologists like
Oh, yeah.
Trent Horn or Jimmy Aiken. I think of
Oh,
these
y'all got
fellas. I don't-
I know. Y'all got Mark Wahlberg.
yes, Mark
Nice.
Wahlberg.
Yeah, nice. Very
Catholic
nice.
for sure.
Yep.
Take him at 4. I'm gonna take Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood.
Can I take? Oh, I'll take Matt Walsh.
Oh,
Yeah,
Matt
you got
Walsh.
Matt Walsh too.
Yeah, dude, Matt
What
Walsh.
is a Christian?
Yeah. Matt Walsh has been through here.
Yep.
We love Matt Walsh, dude. He's been on the pod.
All right. So
yeah.
Matt has 5.
Yeah.
I think he's got his starting 5. I think
Yep.
you have one more pick.
I got one more pick. I
After
wrote this
Carrie
down.
Underwood.
Let me go.
Joel Osteen. Put him.
Recent convert,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
We'll take him.
Denzel
We'll take him.
over Christmas, I believe he got either baptized or ordained into his church.
Interesting.
Yeah, Denzel's on the team.
Okay.
That's a solid lineup for me.
That's great.
Who else did I got? Do I got Bieber in there?
You got Bieber.
did, yep.
You have Steph Curry. You have Tim Tebow, Carrie Underwood, Denzel Washington.
That's a hot lineup.
It's pretty good. People have to let us know in the comments below who
Yeah.
won.
Who won?
They and also receiving votes, I guess, is Gaffigan because he's not. Yeah, he lost rank.
Right.
Yeah.
Tough, dude. Tough for Jim Gaffigan. Yeah. Well, I think the Catholic is this part of y'all's? 'Cause y'all don't recruit.
Yeah, we try. We're just not good at it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
We're better
Because we're always talking about
Yeah, we're
coitus
better
interruptus
marketers.
and
Yeah, yeah.
contraception. And
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, they got a lot of rules over there.
You
Here's-
sure? Are you
Yeah.
sure you don't want to use contraception?
in that voice? Yeah, right. I imagine they're all Catholic speaking that voice. The good advertisement for the Catholic is the churches.
Yeah.
You walk,
Possibly. I
you
mean-
walk by them in New York City. I'm like, that's a
Yeah, well,
nice
that's
church.
true. There are some beautiful.
That's what y'all got
churches.
going for you. But do you, because there was this girl named Katie that I wasn't allowed to date because she was Catholic.
Okay.
And I was not. And my parents said I should not date her. But there's a lot of people that are around like our age that are dating Catholics, and when you get serious, you got to get that sorted out.
I think so.
No, like because where you're going to get married and stuff like that, and how you're going to raise the kids.
Yeah,
Catholics
no,
are
I agree.
very. We're doing it this way.
Yeah, like if my son or daughter was dating a Protestant, well, first of all, I'd be thrilled if they love Christ and
Yep.
wanted to live a Christian life. But I would want them to marry a Catholic, and I would let them know
Yeah.
that you're going to have difficulties down the road. Like this is. I'm so glad that I get to share my faith with my wife.
Yeah.
We're reading through the scriptures together this year, and we pray the rosary together, and we go to Holy Mass with the kids. And so I think it would be very difficult, not impossible, but not
Yeah.
ideal.
That's like someone from. No, hold on. Hold on. Wait. It's like someone from Portland dating somebody from Hartselle, Alabama. Like you're both American, but you're gonna have some.
This is gonna be
difficulties.
difficult,
Is
yeah.
that fair?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll go with it.
You might have some difficulties.
He's like, I don't know where either of those places are, but
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. You live.
No, I
you
do.
live
I
here.
know.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
live. Yeah.
I just don't know
Yeah.
about football. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, because it would be like, it's just going to be a little bit more. Because I have a couple of buddies that have converted in order to get married. Is that part of y'all's recruiting?
Well, I think it would be a bad idea if someone converts because they want to get married to a woman or a man. I think they should convert because they think it's true.
Yep.
You know.
So if you're Catholic, you grew up Catholic, and if you don't get married in the Catholic Church, you can still be Catholic though, right?
Yeah,
or you got to redo your membership.
If I got married outside of the church, on a beach somewhere to someone somewhere, it wouldn't be recognized as sacrament. Well, it wouldn't be recognized as valid. Yeah.
The whole marriage.
Yeah.
But it would be to the state. Not to the
exactly.
church.
But we're not that interested in what the state is.
I got to get involved in this.
Yeah. So I think, yeah.
So if someone skips the process and like, oh, like my wife, the guy's like, yeah, she's not your wife yet, buddy. You got to come over here and do it.
Well, put it this way. Like let's just use an extreme example. Let's say I met this woman in Vegas or something, and I get married to her by Elvis or something. And we live as a married couple, or Tim Tebow, whoever.
Yeah.
And I then start to get serious about my faith. I would need, I think, what's called like a convalidation, or I would need to have my marriage blessed and accepted into the church. So I think the idea is, just as someone might argue the state has the right to regulate the marriages of its citizens, the church has a right to regulate the marriages of its citizens, or something to that effect. I think, yeah.
So if I
But it's not as if like you're there's a distinction between something being objectively wrong and then someone being culpable for doing that thing. Yeah, obviously.
So if I wanted to join, I go down to, a lot of people in the comments were saying that, by the way. In my comments, he's going to convert you.
Oh, you posted about this.
Well, I reposted yours.
Oh, okay.
And I said, what questions do you have? Yeah. I'll read some of them to you after.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think some of them are from people that you know personally.
Uh-oh.
I screenshot those. But if I wanted to join, I could just go in there and there's a class?
Yeah. I think they call it OCIA or something like that now.
Yeah.
So you would have to come, you would have to understand. I think that's maybe what you mean when you say we don't sort of... there's a process that you have to go through. You have to accept the Catholic faith before you become Catholic.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, we'd be like, well,
what are you
why
doing
would you
here?
join?
Yeah. So if you were getting married to... if I was getting married to a Catholic girl, I would have to go down to get married in there, I would have to...
Yeah, and if you were to say, well, I don't really believe any of the stuff, obviously, but, Susie, then a good priest shouldn't confirm you or give you Eucharist.
They should say, yeah. Oh, one of the questions was, this is actually sincere, what do we do about what's the leader of the local church? Priest?
Yeah.
What do we do? Our priest is clearly, to him and to everybody, is very burnt out. Oh. And they were asking what they should do. That was a sincere question.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a difficult job being a priest. I mean, not just to mention celebrating Mass every day and to hear confessions, but you're also dealing with sick calls and baptisms and marriages, and so it's important that we all take care of ourselves. So
you're single.
Yeah, that helps.
No, aren't you?
You are. Oh, you're 100%.
Yeah. If you're the priest.
Yeah. But I suppose. Yeah. So I suppose I would say like to reach out to him and say, how can we help you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe how can we pay for your vacation? Like we want to do something for you.
Bring them a hot meal or something because nobody's cooking for them.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean that in a
no,
sexist way.
No, it's fair.
Yeah.
So.
What are they doing? What are the priests doing right now?
I mean, every priest everywhere? What do you mean?
Yeah, man.
Well, they live behind the church, right?
They tend to live in a church nearby. A house nearby the church.
And it's a single guy.
For the most part. I mean, there are married Catholic priests, but they're the minority.
Oh, there are. I thought that was one of the rules.
Well, after the schism,
I thought y'all didn't loosen up on anything. Now you're loosening up.
Yeah.
All right.
So there are certain kind of communities who came back into union with Rome. So certain Orthodox who may have been out of communion with Rome, who never had the tradition of celibate priests came in, and so they're allowed to get married and things like that. So I mean, there would be a distinction between sort of doctrine and then practices.
All right.
Right. So it's not as if Christ said every single priest at all times must be celibate. If he did say that, then that would be a doctrine that we couldn't.
That'd be one of the rules.
Yeah. So technically speaking, I think I'm right in saying this. This is a decision that could be overturned theoretically, but I don't think it will be.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
What about Sister Act? You seen that movie?
I have, a long time ago.
You seen Sister Act? Easton, you don't know what that is. You know the lady from The View?
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, Whoopi.
He's
The lady.
Oh, I should have said Jonathan Rumi, shouldn't I?
Oh, Jonathan
Earlier
Rumi.
on.
Oh, he is Christ, isn't he?
Golly. Yeah.
Oh,
he plays
Jonathan
the
Rumi.
Lord.
He's got to be up there.
Yeah. Add him. Let's see. Who can we take out?
Where you putting him?
Yeah,
Top
who are you
three?
pulling?
Who did I? Because it was about influence.
Mm-hmm.
Who was my first one?
I gave you Mark
Father
Wahlberg. So
Mike.
if you want to take off Mark Wahlberg?
I don't want to take him. No, Wahlberg's good as well. I don't know. We'll leave
Well,
it as it.
Wahlberg-
We'll leave it as it is.
Okay.
Wahlberg has, isn't he? I think I had a joke about it on stage, like the Pray app or so. What's y'all's app? Hallow is y'all's app, right?
It started by Catholics. It's a Catholic app.
yeah, Mark Wahlberg. I was like, Ted, this guy's doing the prayer app.
What, did he do a campaign for them?
Yes,
No way.
He was on his social media being like, "Hey, listen, guys." I was like, "The cop from Other Guys is telling me how to pray."
Well, I
3 a.m..
think he may have come close to apologizing for certain.
Really?
It's gonna be brutal to be an actor. You make all these decisions early on, you then come to regret it. Like here's another fella, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Right, so
Oh,
he's
yeah,
become
yeah.
Catholic, and I'm
Has he?
sure he looks back on certain things and wishes he hadn't
Yeah.
done it. But that's true of all of us.
I regret what
the
I said
unfortunate
last
for
week
that.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
I regret things I already said on this podcast.
And we left him in. We left him in. Yep.
Yeah, we left him in. Yeah, well, all right. So that it's interesting because you have to when do you go on Sunday?
When to hold him to mass? Yeah,
it's like church.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't tell a Catholic. I feel like Catholics are kind of like, hold on. They're very closeted.
Okay.
Because you're gonna hear about a Protestant, you're gonna hear about an evangelical. They're gonna be on Instagram posting Catholic. You'd be like, I've been friends with that guy for 5 years. I didn't know he was Catholic.
Okay.
You guys kind of keep it close to the vest.
Do we? I hope I don't.
Well, I think in a like a we take it serious type of way.
Are there Catholic versions of the evangelicals who will stand up in a public setting and start yelling about the love of Jesus?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Outside of the Taylor Swift concert.
I haven't encountered them.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that is. That
I
you're
see
referring to.
them on like my feed all the time.
So
where-
they'll stand up in a public place.
yeah, like in the middle of like a Starbucks, and they'll
Yeah,
just
I would
stand
think
up
that would
and
terrify people. I'm not sure how many people get baptized at Starbucks
Couldn't agree
after
more.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's crazy Catholics, like there's crazy everybody. So I'm sure that happens.
Well, I think that's the in comedy we especially deal with. Like when I started, I mean, when I came onto like the scene maybe or whatever, like 10 years ago, I remember I had a video about it was how to make a Christian like a radio hit. Like
Okay.
like
I remember that. You had the folder.
Yeah, wow,
I-
dude, that's a long time. Yeah, and
That's
everybody.
excellent. Were you in that?
Nah, that's forever.
That was
Aaron
before we knew
Cheney.
each other.
He looks like him though. It was right at the, no one knew who I was, right? So everybody was asking, is this guy a Christian?
Yeah. Because if he is, we can laugh.
Yes.
But if he's not, he can go to hell.
Yes, literally. This is very offensive.
Yep.
And I remember there was a bunch of comments in there, and this is before I like known, like people were talking about me, and I was like, this is wild that I'm reading this and it's me. Like before, it was like, I don't read much anymore, but then I did. And
Learned your lesson, huh?
yeah, they were saying that we have to, I'll never forget this. They go, well, yeah, a lot of us don't really we're not proud of Christian music either, but we need to show a unified front to whoever. I don't know. But now I feel like Christianity is too big that, like you said, they go, hey, you're Christian. Do you guys handle the snakes in your service? And I'll go, that's not me. I'm not that one. Yeah. Or do you guys protest the military funerals? Westboro Baptist. I go,
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So it's too.
God doesn't hate fags. God hates your stupid signs.
Wow. There's the title.
Yeah.
a little long, but I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go.
You're going to go with that like Hitler.
Yeah.
Or Hitler was whatever he
It was
said.
all right.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Actually, let's go with I like Hitler. This week's episode brought to you by AG1. Ladies and gentlemen, taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should at least be simple. That's why for the last year I've been drinking AG1 day. No exceptions. It's just one scoop mixed in water once a day, every day, and it makes me feel energized and ready to take on the day. That's because each serving of AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more. It's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. I can attest to that, ladies and gentlemen. AG1 is a quality product. I know with AG1, I'm giving my body high quality nutrition. We talked about this in the pod, treating your body as a temple.
That's right.
We should have asked him if you support AG1.
We
we didn't have to ask him
have.
because he does.
He can't not. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Knowing what I know about him,
Yeah.
he's on board.
Yeah.
And I speak for him.
Yes. He spoke for all Catholics today, so we can speak for him on this.
All of them.
Yeah.
With AG1, I know I'm getting essential brain, gut, and immune health support with vitamins, probiotics, and nutrients from Whole Foods. I like to think of it as a nutritional insurance. I know I'm covering my nutritional bases right from the start of the day. I love my mornings with AG1, an essential part of my routine. Healthy aging, ladies and gentlemen, shouldn't feel complicated. The thought of taking multiple supplements, mixing and matching pills and powder sounds exhausting, but just one daily scoop of AG1 covers my nutrient gaps. And that's what my doctor said about me today. You got some nutrient gaps.
You're gapped up.
Like mental, what's that from? That's from something else. Mental and physical health without a lot of hassle. In just 60 seconds every morning, I know I'm giving my body what it needs and setting up sustainable habits for the long run, baby. If there's one product I'd recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, and that's why I partnered with them for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/netpositive. That's drinkag1.com/netpositive. Or hit the linkisode. Hit the link in the episode description below. This week's episode also brought to you by Gooder. My cousin was wearing some Gooder sunglasses at the beach.
Smart.
True. I know he didn't buy it from me either.
Nice.
Sometimes my family be buying stuff or like, did you, because you listen to the pod? They're like, yeah.
Good.
He doesn't even listen to it.
Use that coupon, Cody, man.
Still
You missed out.
him for that. But Gooder makes $25 active sunglasses that don't slip, don't bounce, and are 100% polarized, lightweight, and comfortable. Stylish, tons of colors. If you're active or running, they don't slip or bounce. And listen, it's January. It's January 3rd. You're gonna be active. You're gonna be getting in the gym. Get you some Gooders. Stylish Sunnies starting at only $25 a pair. 1-year warranty, 30-day free returns, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And I like Gooder. I'd say myself, I got a bunch of them. I got some in the car. I got some at home. I got some in my golf bag. I got them everywhere. I like the names of them. Get on their website. Check out all the styles. A Ginger Soul, $9 pour over, donkey goggles. I think that's the ones Alex got. Great for running, like I said, cycling, working out, golfing, going to the beach. From exercise to errands to sunsets. Get you some Gooder sunglasses if you want to support the show, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up a pair. Give me 2 per. You remember that song?
I don't know that one.
And in the Air Force One. You don't know that song?
No, what's that?
Wow, dude. Gooder is giving Net Positive listeners free shipping on your first order. You can go to gooder.com/netpositive. Use the code NETPOSITIVE to get free shipping. Gooder, there's no E in that. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, 100% satisfaction. Like I said, find your pair at gooder.com. goddr.com/netpositive and use NETPOSITIVE, the code, to get your free shipping, or hit the link in the episode description below. So if that's I think what Catholicism has going for it. I feel like that it is everybody's on the same. There's not really any like debate.
No, there is. There's a lot of infighting. You know, when people say I want to become Catholic, I say welcome. Everything's on fire. Please grab a bucket.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think for a while there may have been that temptation to sort of like circle the wagons and pretend everything's well, and then no, there's a lot of confusion, and there is, and so to pretend that doesn't exist, I don't think helps people.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Well, if we were gonna do if we had to do the odds, to take bets on 2025 is the 2025 scandal draft.
Oh.
You taking Catholics or Protestants?
I don't know. I think it's 50-50.
For biggest and best or most?
Okay, dude. Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, because most might be from us because we're the biggest, but...
I feel like most are from us.
No,
because we got more.
I guess it depends on where you're at, right? That's what you hear about. Maybe that's what it is. But
And I don't know.
may we not be one of them.
We got fun ones.
Amen.
We got fun ones on our side.
Yeah, ours are more like the pastor went to a strip club,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Not super fun, but sure. All right, we'll go.
I'm sure he had fun at the time. I'm
Sorry,
sure.
yeah. Well, he had a vasectomy, so he was fine. Well, you know what? I in actuality,
I'm surprised that you saw that vasectomy comment, because that was something that showed up on my feed as it does, and I just commented.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you see that?
I don't know. Ava Marie. I think
You go on Instagram, look up vasectomy videos, and just happen
Oh,
to.
you're gonna miss that. I said Ava Marie posted about it. I asked him before for everybody, all the listeners. I said I saw your Instagram, and then it had a
You said something about Maggie or something.
slash at the end. It said, like if Peyton Manning's Instagram, it's like Peyton Manning team, so everybody knows it's not. And I go, I think your Instagram is Ava Marie. Is she did she run your Instagram? He's like, what? And that's like a greeting. That's a Catholic greeting.
I got nervous. I was like, maybe I accidentally left voice to text on and
Yeah,
said
all right.
hello to Maggie. Or
All right,
something.
so if I start putting that on they're gonna be like, oh, is this guy Catholic?
Yeah, probably. If they're
It's
Catholic.
it's like the Catholic Underground Railroad.
That's how you signal that you're in.
Yeah. It's like the fish. We do the
That
fish.
is a fascinating topic, how each group has signals to show that they're safe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if you were like, it was a lot in the past year. It's been a lot with how do you know if someone else is Trump? Mm-hmm. You kind of be like, oh, you like watch Ben Shapiro, or like you kind of be like a lot of things that you like try to figure out if because everybody was like on thin ice.
There's like a checklist for are you
Yeah.
probably with Trump?
They were like, I was like, well, our family, celebrates, Big July 4th. Yeah, Big July 4th family.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we're taking work off for January 6th. Like, all right, you're definitely, yeah. Yeah, but I think, wasn't it in the Bible? No, this is definitely not in the Bible, where Jesus would draw half of the fish, and then the other, in the dirt, he would draw, like a fish is like this.
Yeah.
And Jesus would draw half of it, and if you were a Christian, you draw the other half.
I've never heard of this.
It wasn't.
A fish goes like this.
I think it was.
and the other half
Yeah.
goes like
No, I'm
this.
familiar with what
I think it was in the early. I think it was in the
early.
early church as Christians were being persecuted. That's the story I've
Yeah,
heard.
it wasn't Jesus.
But,
Yeah.
but the point is, I see your point though. Like, here's the signal. Like,
If you're-
I'm safe. How do you do that from stage to a group of Christians? Because
Oh man, I would probably say something about like
do you still primarily do Christian kind of events, or are you?
I don't do
more-
any Christian events, no.
Yeah,
But all my stand up is still the same.
Okay.
It's just in a neutral venue.
Okay.
I did a Catholic church one time inside the Catholic church, and I felt like I shouldn't be doing that.
Road game.
Yeah, what is that?
road game.
Like
It's on the road. Away game.
I go, hey, you got to send me over to the gym. I can't be in here. There's like too many. There's too many serious looking things in here for me to make jokes about. Farting in middle school or something like that.
He's on the cross right behind you.
Yeah, I
right?
felt like that. Like the basin was there with the
Baptismal font. Or?
yeah. I feel like I shouldn't have done a a
That's all right.
sound effect for that. But
It was just the wrong sound effect. That's why you should
Yeah.
apologize. Yeah.
yeah, or no, they sprinkle.
Both.
Do you do
Primarily.
both? Oh, what about? Did you see that video about the Catholic during COVID with the squirt gun? He was baptizing kids with a squirt gun.
Mercy.
Is he your buddy? No, I'm just kidding, dude.
He didn't make the
Well,
roster.
I think
so-
COVID made us all do a lot of crazy things.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think we
everybody-
all have immunity
to be fair, we were
to
all
a
in
point.
that together. Yeah. What I do like about Catholicism is like when I would go to, I remember early on in like therapy or counseling or something like that, you couldn't bring yourself to speak these things to a therapist, and you're like, dude, this person, you are talking about, getting somebody's like, I got a girl pregnant when I was sick. You couldn't even, you're paying this person $100 an hour, and this another human, and you couldn't get up the courage or nerve or whatever. You're in so much shame or pain or whatever it was. You couldn't even say that to a stranger. And I think the general practice of confession, I think I'm very much in support of. And are you guys still doing that?
Of course. And the difference between therapy, there's many differences between therapy and confession, but one of them is in confession, maybe I'll talk about how so-and-so in my family's a narcissist. No, the only point of confession is for you to say how wretched you are. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. And so it is a beautiful...
It's not about your mother-in-law at all.
It's not about anybody else but how you failed.
Not about your boss. No. I didn't know that.
And there's the seal of the confessional. So nothing can be, divulged outside, even serious crimes like murder or something.
Can't? By law. Is that true?
Well, by canonical law, the priest would probably have his faculties stripped if he were to divulge what was said in the confessional.
Wow.
So there's a sort of safety there, right? But also you talk to any priest about this, they say after like 1 week, they're not scandalized anymore. Like there's nothing, you're not that special. You're not that special that your sins are so.
What about Namaska Zorro when Catherine Zeta-Jones was in there?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Dude, that changed my life.
What did she say?
Catherine Zeta-Jones went into the confessional.
Maybe you shouldn't divulge it.
And I think Zorro was on the other side. It was like, it's in the movie. All right, so he does it.
Spoiler.
Doesn't count if he does it. Yeah.
The problem, I guess, with it in the movies, or if I'm an outsider, I think, well, that guy knows my voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a small one, you were like, that's Kathy, for sure. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But he just has to.
Yeah, but you kind of, you sort of expect to hear the confessions of your flock, of the people at your parish, and you expect that he's going to know who you are as well. I mean,
we got to get one of these guys in here.
You need a voice modulator, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that'll help. But
could he say on our podcast what he hears?
No, of course not.
Okay, all right, yeah, never mind. No, forget that question. No.
Sorry, I missed the joke.
No, that wasn't really a joke, but no, dude, absolutely not. He couldn't. Yeah. No,
I would hope not.
You're right.
Yeah. I'm laughing because John thought that there was a shot that we could get a priest to come do that.
Come in here and say what you've been hearing. I guess if you gotta be, if I was the priest, somebody would be like, oh well, I'm just struggling because I haven't read the Bible much this week. I'd be like,
please.
Yeah.
Well, there was a line about Fulton Sheen, who was a famous Catholic bishop, and he said that hearing the confession of nuns is like being stoned to death with popcorn, which I've heard nuns not appreciate because, of course, the sins of nuns are grave as well.
Because they're like, I envied Sister Jane the other day.
Yeah, but which turns out to be actually a much graver sin than some of the sins we dress up and say are so impressive. I once had a monk say to me, I did a week-long silent retreat, and he said, I always say, if you want to see how boys sin, go to Vegas. If you want to see how men sin, come to the monastery.
God.
Meaning, the backbiting, the envy, the pride that exists there.
Yeah.
So, no, but it is good. I think like it's a relief for us, I think, to look down on other people, to complain about the sins of whoever else, some other group or Joe Biden or someone else.
That's every week on this podcast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we know about the relief by looking down on other people.
But it goes against the invitation to repent seriously from our heart at all times,
If I did try to convert, they'd be like, let me bring up a couple of these YouTube clips. This is gonna be a problem. I remember saying, because if you like all these struggles that you deal with on earth, right? Whether you deal with, eating too much or sex or alcohol or jealousy or lust or all the sins, right? And I've often found myself saying I was like, listen, I can't go, I'm not a monk. I can't go live in the woods. Meaning, even if you removed this from me, if you removed the Gulch from me, if you removed Broadway from me, if you remove all these things, and we are a bunch of dudes living in silence, I'm still,
of course.
And that's the
Have you heard of Saint Mary of Egypt?
No.
Yeah, this is what it's like when you ask me about football. Just heads up.
No, you want me to guess?
Well, no.
Is that going to be disrespectful?
No, just let me tell you. So she was.
I could give it a shot.
She was a prostitute for multiple years.
I wouldn't have thought that.
And ended up having a conversion, and went and lived as a kind of hermit, as it were, in the desert.
Yeah. And
said that it was, I think it was like over a decade of just the songs and the images and that came back to her. So
of
it's
her
like
past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all have to deal with that.
Yeah, that removing, I think maybe a lot of times when you are overwhelmed with your humanity or maybe sin or whatever you call it, you're like, well, let's just remove it. And then I think that's what a monastery is, in essence, remove everything. Yeah. And then
But then you're left still with your wicked heart, and you realize that it wasn't just the faults of others.
Turns out.
Yeah.
It's still, and even if I think a lot of people, you know, if your right arm causes you to sin, cut it off type things is a lot of, I think, I shouldn't speak for others, but I think this would help other people in your shame or guilt. You go, I'm gonna set these boundaries. Yeah. I'm gonna never go to Broadway again. Broadway's you know what Broadway is. You got to go down there after this. There's a lot of let's say non-Catholic activity going on down there. Yeah, I'm gonna never go to Broadway again. I'm gonna never drink again. I'm gonna never smoke a cigarette again. I'm gonna get rid of my phone. I've heard a lot of guys. I'm gonna get a flip phone. I'm gonna get a filter on it so I can't look at porn. I'm gonna if I'm tempted at the strip club, I'm gonna drive the other way. And so you're always trying to, and I think the end of that road is somebody goes, I'll just be a monk and live in the woods, and then. I think where you've come and where I've come in my faith journey is like, that's not going to solve it for you. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it depends. Yeah. On, I mean, certainly, I mean, for you, I think it's awesome that you said you've been sober for a while now. So you presumably put up certain walls around the drinking of alcohol so that you don't go down a road.
Less now, but when I needed to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so me too with certain things. And I think that's wise. Self-knowledge is really important, you know, like because I'm weak, I need this. Yeah. But then the hope is that you grow beyond that, just like it sounds like you have, where it's like, no, I can go into a bar and I'm okay.
Now, yeah.
Did you grow up Catholic?
Yes, but I was agnostic by the time I was 12 and then had a reversion to Christ when I was 17.
Wow.
17. Well, I was thinking about if you were going to grow up, if you were just entering high school and you had to pick which one could I still operate and get into some nefarious behavior, you go Protestant or you go Catholic?
I think I'd go Buddhist or something, like some vague spirituality that would still allow me to, not that Buddhism would do this, but I mean, my perception as a white kid in South Australia was that I could still have some spirituality and some fornication and some pornography, you know, and that was really what I didn't want to let go of, I think.
Wow. What are some of what do you think, like the biggest misconceptions about Catholicism?
I don't know, that we're unified. We are unified. There is a unity to our doctrine, but that doesn't mean there isn't infighting. Biggest misconceptions, maybe, you know, it's probably similar stuff that you deal with, that we must hate certain people because we disagree with behavior. Sure. That's probably one.
Penn
State. Or, beg your pardon?
Nah, dang it, dude.
Football reference.
I'm like 0 for 10 with this guy.
Don't let him interrupt you. Keep going. We're good.
Notre Dame's playing Penn State this weekend.
Okay.
You guys hate them.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so that would probably be the biggest one, or that Catholics don't really. I think some Protestants, seeing such bad examples from Catholics, kind of assume that Catholics are just non-serious Christians. They don't read the scriptures. They don't worship Christ. They're just not interested in that. That it's more of a cultural thing than it is a sort of religious, or a different word if you don't like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Commitment.
Yeah, no, it always not.
I think I think people have that misconception because it is true maybe not a lot of the time, I don't know, but in many instances. But I think it's always best if you're going to judge a religion that you judge it based on both what that faith says about itself and then those who are living to the best of their ability to that faith. Like, if I wanted to understand Calvinism and all I did was read why the Catholic Church thought it was wrong, it feels like, okay, at some point you should give the Calvinist a hearing instead of just what his enemies have to say about it or something. And likewise, you know, if you're a Protestant and you want to learn more about Catholicism, like you could read the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which lays out what we believe, or you could ask a practicing Catholic what the Catholic Church believes, and not just go to channels by evangelicals who say what they disagree with.
What about this pod?
Well, they could listen to this pod. Yeah.
I was going to ask you what they get. What are they getting you in trouble for these days?
Me personally?
Yeah. What do the Catholics not like about you?
Oh, I'm sure a lot of things, and
I
don't think they're wrong.
Things other than getting a vasectomy.
The same things I don't like about myself.
Yeah.
You got to reverse a vasectomy if you become Catholic.
No, you
Good
don't.
question.
You don't have to because it just seems like excessive.
Yeah.
It's something you would repent of, but wouldn't be required to
Oh,
undo.
yeah, sure. They'd be like,
But I do know of many that have. I actually didn't. Yeah, I did an episode.
do?
At, beg your pardon?
Wow.
Yeah, which I think is admirable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of things? What do you? You like anything about Protestants?
I love lots of things about Protestants. I've learned
What do we got going for us?
Well, I don't know about your circles, but there are personal people that I have benefited greatly from. I would say Dr. William Lane Craig is one of them. Alvin Plantinga is a Calvinist that I've benefited from. John Eldridge. I love John Eldridge, and he's going to be on my show soon, which is going to be awesome.
Who's that? The
Wild at Heart guy.
dude.
Yeah, he just seems like a real beautiful
I got to get him
fella.
on that guy.
Yeah.
I got to get him on the pod. I wonder, where does he live? Do you know?
I think Colorado.
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. Well, I think a lot of people, I think my age, have, if they've grown up like me, a lot of them, they kind of been disenfranchised by the church or whatever, how they grew up, because they see it's maybe hypocritical. My dad was doing this and he was saying this. I feel like a lot of people have that story, and so they're all like, feel like they graduated high school and kind of got it, and then everybody kind of left. And now, as what I've seen, the trend of it I've seen is everybody's now having kids or has had kids, and then they go, well, we got to teach them something.
Yeah.
And so you go, hey, don't, that guy gave you a gift, say thank you. Why? This guy, there's someone homeless on the street, we should help him. Why? Don't steal. Why? Don't, you're playing with your cousin, don't hit him. And everybody's we're all kind of going, well, why, if we're not Christian or whatever we're going to call ourselves, what we have to pass down some value system. And that's everybody, by the way. Even if you're atheist, you have to pass down to your offspring or children some kind of framework. And I think that a lot of people come back to Catholicism in their 40s.
Do I find that?
Yeah. In their 30s, or once they kind of start getting serious about their life, do they?
Yeah, I think once you, having a child is a life-changing moment where you have to decide, this thing in front of me, is it merely a sort of bag of chemicals, or is it something with intrinsic dignity and unalienable rights? And if it is, how do I explain that, and what do I want for them? And I think when you start asking those questions, it sometimes leads you back to the faith you were raised with, or something like that faith. I would hope that people aren't becoming Christian because they think we should just be nice and have some basic reason for why we should be nice, because atheists can be nicer than Christians, of course, but that it would lead people to think, like, what is true? Is it true that God exists, or isn't it? Is it true that Christ rose from the dead, or isn't it? And maybe I can't have 100% certainty about that, but do I have any good reason to think it at all, and is it something worth giving my life to?
Yeah.
And I think it is.
Yeah. I think the way that the faith does work is you just go, man, that guy seems, a lot of people, a guy came up to me in the airport yesterday, and he was like, hey, I just want to let you know that I've watched your journey, and I've watched your, he's like, I don't know you personally, but I've just watched I appreciate how you carry yourself and how you've handled yourself, and I like what you are about, and a proclaiming Christian. It's like that would be my advertising plan, if you would. That you go, it seems like it's working for you, or it seems like this is the framework in which I'm going to choose to live my life. And then somebody goes, what's that about? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's the best way to evangelize, you mean? Or it's often it's an opener, isn't it?
But you guys don't have tracts, do you?
Yeah,
you have a $100 bill to a waitress, you open it up, it's a Catholic.
No, we don't really do that.
You guys don't do that.
But there are little pamphlets and things that would explain Catholic
teaching.
Here's
what you guys don't have that you got going for you. Ex-evangelicals. You know what that term is?
I guess it's people who've left the church.
Yeah, put two and two together. Yep. Yeah, or like deconstructionists. You ever heard that term before?
Yeah.
Where they're like,
that's about as lame as tattoos are now. it was cool.
He said it, dude, not me.
It was about cool for 15 minutes, and then we all went, this is not as subversive as we once thought. Yeah.
I didn't say it. I didn't say. I mean, I have been saying that for like 3 years.
Have you
I
really?
feel like
About
yes.
I have a tattoo. Just want to remind people, I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah,
hypocrite.
yeah,
I'm aware
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
No, I go. I've said for the longest time that everybody, that my pastor didn't let me sing on Sunday morning, so I'm out of here. Or everybody that is deconstructing or ex-evangelical used to be very involved in the church, and then the pastor, something happened to them. Maybe they got fired,
Right.
and they're like, I'm out of here. And I go, I've tried to say for forever that you're doing the same thing. You just swung to the other side. So like the alt-right politically, then they're like, let's say your guy didn't get elected and he swing to the alt-left. I'm like, you're still doing the same thing. You're just going all screw Christianity. I'm out. And now you're giving yourself all to this. And then that movement is gonna let you down,
Right.
of course. And then I think there's a lot of good things about Catholicism, and there's a lot of good things about Protestants where I think, and
Can I share a quote with you from one of my favorite living philosophers? His name's Dr. Peter Kreeft.
I thought you were going to say Mark Wahlberg.
And no. And he said, when a maniac is at the door, feuding brothers reconcile. And so I think it's important that Catholics and Protestants,
Say that again.
when a maniac is at the door, feuding brothers reconcile. Yeah?
I got that.
Yeah. So the idea would be that we have legitimate differences that need to be sorted out, and we can continue arguing.
Yeah.
But when there's this great threat of, say, mutilating children or killing them in the womb or what have you, it can help to sort of join forces and work alongside each
Yes,
other.
if we're arguing with each other about the whatever, this and that, I feel like I don't know if this is a good comparison or not, but I feel like 9/11 was kind of everybody started
together.
praying.
Yeah.
Everybody was like your faith. Everybody was we were all unified. Kind of. That's exactly that.
Something like
when
that,
nobody was praying, nobody was in church. When there's a maniac at the door, when everybody goes,
let's leave our differences aside.
then
just
you
for
go,
a second.
hey, if you drink or don't drink, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We got to get to I like that a lot. Yeah. Well, tell everybody where they can find you.
I have a web podcast called Pints with Aquinas.
Yeah.
And that's where they can
And
find
he does
me.
it. He did the Australian accent just for us, but he just
I'm from
speaks
Brooklyn.
like he's from Florida when he's on that podcast. He just came over. Yeah. Pints with Aquinas, and you're trying to raise money for a new studio.
Yeah.
Get this man the studio. Yeah.
No, I've said to people from the get-go that I'm going to build the studio whether I get the money or not.
All right.
So people don't have to give, but certain people have said they would like to. So it's pintswithaquinas.com/studio. We're currently,
What's the if somebody wanted to come to listen to an episode, what's a good intro episode?
Golly, I don't know. I interviewed Jordan Peterson. That was a big one. Yeah. Peter Kreeft, who I just mentioned, I've interviewed several times. He's my favorite kind of guy ever. He's like my sixth favorite person after my wife and children.
Four,
More family members you have, the longer that list.
Yeah.
It gets tough to get on that list.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, I guess he would be fifth, wouldn't he? Because my wife and sixth.
Yeah,
Okay,
six.
good.
You'd be
I have
six,
4
yeah.
kids. That's how many I have here.
Jordan Peterson's good.
But hey, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I've loved listening to you, and I was driving home the other day with my daughter, and I said, I'm going to be on John Crist's show, and we played a couple, and she thought you were hilarious. So
I'll take it.
Thanks
Nice.
for doing what you're
That's
doing.
very kind of you,
We need
brother.
that.
Best of luck to you, man. Thanks for coming by. You got it.
I mean, yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.